Do you see that video I put together of those experiences?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's what you need. You have to have people checking temperatures at the gate. You have to have people checking temperatures at all the supermarkets. It's got to be vigilant. You have to have people everywhere checking temperatures. You have to have people everywhere doing tests. You have to have kits everywhere because without visibility, you don't know what's going on,
hmm
right? So right
Yeah, well,
now
I think
DeWine is doing something smart because he can just say, well, let's just assume. If I'm wrong, then there's no
right.
downside. Well, let's assume because it's probably true because we don't have testing kits. That's the
That is a
smart
very
thing to
smart
do.
way. That's what the president should have done right a month ago. That's why people are getting upset at him. But yeah, it's very smart to have your health expert come to you and say, "This is what we know about the disease based on the low number of tests that we've done. It's very likely that this is how many people are infected based on where they're infected around the state." And
Right.
you just go with that. Go with the expert.
And
Oh, and
people trust when if you proactively give terrible news and you go out of your way to do it when it's
mhm.
inconvenient to you, people feel trust for that. People probably are feeling a lot of gratitude
Oh,
toward
in
DeWine for that.
Ohio,
Yeah.
yeah, like on social media, you see people are they're proud that the governor is taking these steps.
Yeah, they should
It
be.
seems like they're being a lot more intelligent than the federal government.
And I'm not seeing any because I'm seeing the same sort of things on my end, and I'm sort of seeing it at a national level because that's the news that I
hmm
consume. I'm not seeing any partisanship there. It seems to be sort of a thing where the actions are disassociated from
Oh yeah,
party. You know what I
for
mean?
governors, yeah, or at least DeWine, because there's a lot of people that oppose DeWine. He's a Republican.
Right.
But with this, even people of all political stripes
Yeah.
are
And I think
giving him
the
credit.
same thing goes for De Blasio. I mean, you can say things about De Blasio, but it's not easy to make the call to shut down all the schools, which happened yesterday. Sunday yesterday, they shut down all the schools.
Right. Well, but he got pressured on that too because he was going to keep them open. He did multiple press conferences where he said he was going to keep them open, and I mean, there was like a hashtag De Blasio, you must close the schools and stuff like that.
Well, you have to also consider the position that someone like that is in to make that call
Mm.
because you have to balance two things. You have to balance the children of healthcare workers because if they don't have someone to take care of their children while they go into work, then there's another situation where there are fewer healthcare workers. It is a balancing act. So I agree with
Well,
you. There should be
that
pressure,
yeah,
but
I
it's the right
understand.
call.
There's a different level to it in a large urban metropolis too, because
Yeah.
you have lower income people that might not be able to watch their kids, and then if something happens for a month from now where they say 30 kids died because of from malnutrition or because something happened to them, their parents weren't around, the mayor must pay because he closed the schools. Who was the bastard that closed the schools? He's got that kind of consideration to make too.
Well,
So
yeah,
I'm curious to see how they will make up for that.
there's
Like,
that.
how are they going to feed those kids and make sure they're okay if they don't have?
I think we can get into that those sorts of options, but so I'm not trying to sound like a De Blasio shill or anything like that, but
I think he's okay.
I
I mean,
understand
ish.
the dilemma there because that is a real concern. The kids at home thing is a real issue because in a huge city when the healthcare system is starting to reach its strain point, if healthcare workers say, you know what, number one, it's very risky for me to go into work because I will probably get coronavirus. Number two, every day when I come home, I have to worry, am I spreading it to my kids and my mom? And number three, who's going to take care of my kid when I'm at work? So, you know what? Maybe I don't want to be a healthcare worker anymore. I'm going to take a 3 month hiatus, and then we're screwed in New York because of the
Yeah.
population and because of the number of centers that need to be sort of available to patients. So I understand the calculation, and from what I heard in the press conferences, he always had the caveat: it is on the table. It is always on the table,
Yeah,
and we might
that's
make the
true.
call. So I mean, yes, maybe he should have done a suited,
It
but I
was
get it.
interesting.
I get it.
Yeah, how
Yeah.
quickly it escalated though, because remember when he gave one of the first press conferences, or it was still just last week, I think like Thursday or Friday or something. It was just a couple schools that were shutting down, like two or three in the whole city. I think it might have been Thursday. But one of them is on the street where Lorena's parents live, like it's on the corner of their street, and it was one of the three places in the city that was shut down. So I was like, "Oh my gosh, we gotta go run there and rescue your
Chopper him
parents."
back. Yeah.
And then the next thing that was announced was Ohio, 100,000 people already have it, and I was like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
guess
Well.
there's going to be no point in that. We got more than them." Well, but that was all just a calculation to protect people. It probably
Yeah.
Maybe it's better in Ohio. I don't know.
Who knows?
I would think being the only person on a country block, you're probably a little bit less likely unless you go to
As long
Meyer
as
like
one
an
of the
idiot.
Pretty Brothers survives, you know, we need to. You need just do me one favor, Gabe.
Uh-huh. Sure.
If I
Sure.
don't make it,
Uh-huh.
can you just once in a while? Can you give Circle a pet for me?
I thought that that's what it was going to be. Yeah, I'd be happy to do that, but that's all I'll do.
Give him a
No,
scratch.
just,
Give him a pet. He likes it when you rub both sides of his mouth like that, right
Mhm.
there. He likes it. If I don't
Well, the
make it,
same for my cats, please. Because I mean, Ohio.
mm, that's asking a lot. I want you to do that for me, but I don't want to do that for you.
Okay.
Does that make
Well,
sense? Do you
yeah, that
understand what I'm
makes sense.
trying to say?
It's not a
No,
mutually
no. I'm
beneficial
asking for
thing.
you a
It's a
favor,
one
and I
way.
think it's
Yeah,
very presumptuous of you to ask for me to do that. That's very,
that's reasonable.
it's crossing the line.
Same for Christmas, right?
Oh yeah,
Where's the gifts?
I've done a lot of horrible things in my life to you, Gabe,
No,
and I'm
I was
sorry.
just joking. I don't think you're actually like that. But it
Have
would be
I?
funny if
Yeah.
you expected gifts from other people and then refused to give any, but you
But
still expect it
how
from
many
others.
times have I done things like that that feel like that? That feel sort
No,
of
no, I think you're a nice guy.
okay. Wow, great. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to nurture that perception for a long time to come.